Hello, and welcome to another episode of So You Want to Be an RD? All my RDs to be. Today is going to be totally out of this world. We are going to calculate TPN. We're going to learn about fluid, protein, lipids, and carbohydrates. So get ready.
Okay, so we're going to get into our calculations. First, we have our fluid per day. So to calculate fluid per day, you need the patient's weight, which we have here as 69 kilograms. The patient needs a lot less fluid than is typically recommended. So we're using 20 milliliters per kilogram, but you can see in the box the typical fluid requirements. This patient, it comes out to 1,380 milligrams the patient will need. And if we calculate that into how much we're going to give per hour, then we would take it and divide it by 24 hours for 57.5, which is kind of an odd number to set your IV at. So we're going to round up to 60 for the final rate and multiply that by 24 to get 1,440 milliliters for the final volume for this patient. For amino acids, we're going to take the patient's weight again, 69, and they're critically ill, so they need somewhere between 1.2 and 2.2 grams per kilogram. I'm going to give them 1.3, and that gives them 90 grams per day. And 90 grams per day gives us 360 calories from our protein. So lipids. There's a couple ways to do this. I'm going to give you the easiest way. We need to give our patient 20 to 30% of calories from lipids. So because they're critically ill, I'm going to go on the lower end for them. They need 1,650 calories a day. And we're going to multiply by 0.20. And that gives us a total of 330 calories per day from their fat. Now, 330, we have to convert into milliliters because our fat comes in a lipid emulsion. And so for this, we know that there's 2 calories per milliliter of our lipid. So in order to find out how many milliliters that is a day, we take 330, our total calories, and divide it by 2. And we need 165 milliliters of our lipids. Finally, we have carbohydrates. And so we have to figure out how much do we have left to work with carbohydrates. So 1,650 calories we started out with. We use 360 on our protein, 330 on our lipids, and that leaves us with 960 calories. So now we need to calculate how much dextrose in grams does our pharmacist need to add into this TPN mixture. Now, normal carbohydrates give us 4 calories per gram, but because this is just the carbohydrate is dextrose is the source, it's actually only 3.4 calories per kilogram. So you're going to take your 960 calories and divide it by 3.4 to get 282 grams of carbohydrate a day. If you look up here, we need to make sure that we have a maintenance for a critically ill patient because our patient's very sick. We want them to have less than 5 grams per kilogram per day. So we need to make sure we're not giving them too much carbohydrate. So we're going to take our grams of carbohydrate and we're actually just going to divide it by their weight to see how many grams per kilogram they are getting per day. And they are getting 4. And so we are good to go. So the recommended TPN, we would say, would be a total volume of 1,440 milliliters. We want the nursing staff to run it at 60 per hour. We need 90 grams of protein in it. We need 282 grams of dextrose. And there's 165 milliliters of lipids. And this will give our patient right around the calories that they need and also meet their protein needs without giving them too much fluid.
next time on So You Want to Be a Dietitian, I'm going to teach you how to make blenderized tube feeds so that you can help your patients with recipes. Can't wait to see you again.